Hi guys, it's been a really long time I know since I posted on this channel, but I had some extra time today and I figured I should do a video. And I was looking at my old videos and I saw I did a dating in middle school video and I promised you guys a dating in high school video. So here is my advice for you. So first off, I'm just going to kind of talk about my experience, and then I asked you guys to ask me questions on Twitter and Instagram, so I'm going to answer some of those questions that you guys asked me. So from moving on from middle school to high school, especially in like 11th and 12th grade, is really like a time to experiment with relationships and start getting into maybe a serious relationship. And of course, not everybody in high school is going to be in a relationship, in a serious relationship, any of that. So it's totally normal if you're not in a relationship in high school. I'm not saying go out and get in a serious relationship. Some people just like to have fun, some people want to try out the whole relationship thing, so whatever just kind of floats your boat, that is totally okay. In high school, it's likely you might find your first love, you're going to experience getting your heart broken most likely. I feel like everybody at some point in their life is going to get their heart broken, and it's kind of good to know what it feels like and to be at that low point so you appreciate when you're at the high point. On one hand, in high school, it's a really good time to just have fun with your friends, and on the other hand, if you want to be in a relationship, try not to get too tied down to it and still keep your friends around, and don't let your boyfriend or girlfriend be like, no, you can't have other friends, because that would just drive me insane. What I have noticed is if it's like your first serious relationship maybe, or just any kind of relationship in high school, people do tend to get extra jealous. I don't know, I just noticed that, and like now with my boyfriend, like we could tell each other stuff and we don't get mad about stupid stuff and have stupid arguments, because I know a lot of high school relationships have like really bad arguments, and you really just need to pick your battles. I think that's what I learned mostly from high school, is you don't have to get in an argument or a fight with your boyfriend or girlfriend about the silliest little things. Like, you really don't. It's not necessary. It's not good. You're just going to be in a bad mood. Just try to be upbeat and stuff. And going with that, I think high school mostly is learning a lot about what you want in a relationship, what you want out, how you want someone to treat you. Learn stuff about yourself. Learn, I did this wrong in this relationship, that's why it didn't work out, and use that for your next relationship. So definitely learn. Don't keep making the same mistakes with every single relationship. Also in high school, I feel like in middle school, people shouldn't even be cheating on each other at all, but in middle school, if you're doing that, that's completely weird. But in high school, it's gonna probably happen to you one day by somebody. You might get cheated on. And the biggest thing is just move forward. At a young age, don't waste your time on somebody who's going to cheat on you. If you're married, it's a different story. You might try to work it out for your kids, but if you're young, don't deal with someone who's just going to cheat on you and you don't want to have to worry about it. You want to be able to trust the person you're with. If you can't trust them, you don't want to be constantly worrying about who they're hanging out with, what they're doing. You need to have them, let them do their own thing sometimes, and if you don't trust them, then that's just not a good basis of a relationship. So now I'm going to answer some of the questions you guys asked me. I think that's going to be like the most helpful part of this video probably. What would you consider warning signs of a guy that doesn't want to commit? If somebody doesn't want to commit in a relationship with you, they will want to hang out, they might want to physically do stuff, but if they don't want to grab onto you and be like, you're mine, I don't want another guy to have you, then that's just a sign. If somebody wants to be in a relationship, they will let you know. If you keep asking about them and they keep avoiding the question, or just be like, oh, I don't want to be in a relationship right now, I just want to be friends, I don't want to be tied down, that's a really, really, really big sign, obviously. And this question kind of really goes along with that last one, and it says, what do you say to a guy who just wants to be friends with benefits but you really like him? So this could happen a lot. Girls especially get attached to guys. They really like a guy, and some guys just don't have that like emotional side to them. They just want to do maybe physical things. That's not the kind of guy you want to be in a relationship. You're not going to be able to change him. The best thing to do probably is just move on. If he really cares about you, when you move on, he'll stop talking to other girls or try to be in a relationship with you, try to make it work. But you don't want someone who just cares about doing physical things. That should be like not the #1 thing on their priority list. Another question is, what age or grade difference in high school do you think is too much of a difference? Honestly, I don't think anybody in high school, I think, is in the right age group to date each other. It might be a little weird if like you're in 9th grade and you're dating a senior, but I think it all depends on maturity level. Like when you're older, you might be 30 dating a 35-year-old and nobody's gonna care. Like no one's gonna be, oh my gosh, that's such a big age difference. But I think when you're younger, people are like, that's such a big age difference. It really just depends on their maturity level. If you are a girl and you're a senior, I probably wouldn't be dating a freshman guy because their maturity level is probably like down here. But like 1 or 2 grades or just any grade, it just depends if you like the person and how they treat you. I don't think age really matters in high school. Do you think high school relationships can really last? I totally do. I met my boyfriend now in high school. We didn't start dating till like we were both completely out of high school. We didn't really even talk in high school, which is kind of weird. But I have seen a lot of people actually last. One of my friends is engaged to somebody she went to high school with. I have another friend who's married to a guy she's been with for like 5 years, since like 8th grade. So it definitely can work. I know a lot of people who continue to date the person they dated their junior or senior year, or maybe they went back to them and things started working once they were outside of high school. But I definitely think it can work. Not to say every relationship in high school is going to work. The question is, how do you get a boyfriend? This is kind of just hard to answer from a girl's perspective, because yes, girls can ask guys out, but it's so much more common for a guy to ask a girl out. So like maybe how do you get their attention? I'd say talk to them. If you like a guy, say, hey, want to hang out, want to go to the movies, want to go to the beach, whatever. And if they like you, or just be yourself around them, be fun around them, and if they like you, then they'll start showing signs, and you could just kind of instinctively pick up on that, and then you could get a boyfriend that way, kind of. But don't just try to get a boyfriend. Maybe try to get to know them first, make them like you as a person, and then see where things go from there. I like this question. It's PDA and hallways, cute or unclassy? I definitely think it's super unclassy. It depends. If you're just going to give them a kiss, like mwah, totally fine. I have no problem with that. But if you're gonna sit there and make out with someone in the hallways, there's like a million people walking around. It's not like you're on the side of the street where 1 or 2 pedestrians might be passing by. Like there's probably hundreds of people passing around. Can't you just wait till after school, or wait till you go to their house, or get a room or something? Some people it doesn't bother me. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh my gosh, ew. But it's like, why do you feel the need to do that in public? It's something that should be kept in private, and it depends the extent of it. But if it's just something small, I have absolutely no problem with it. Of course, you should show the person that you're with that you care about them, show them love and attention and stuff. This one's a little bit tough. It's, what do you do if a guy you don't like asks you out? How do you turn them down without hurting your feelings? I've had a lot of guys who are like close friends that I don't want to lose as close friends, but I don't see them in that way, if that makes sense. You have to figure out, if he asks you out, see if he just wants to hang out as a friend. Maybe you could kind of point out to them and be like, oh, who else is coming with us, or something like that, just so he knows that you don't want it to really be just the 2 of you. It can be kind of hard. Just make sure you're clear to him. If he asks you if you like him or something, be like, I adore you as a person, I just don't see you in that way. Or just say that you don't want to ruin your friendship. It's like the typical line, but it could definitely be true. So I would just be honest with them depending on how close you are with that person. So that completes my questions. If you have any more questions or stuff I didn't answer, just leave them in the comments down below and I'll definitely try to answer as many as I can. Or you can email me like usual. I get a lot of advice type questions in my email. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you everyone who asked questions, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!